guys, EJ here, back with another video, and today it's going to be my Blu-ray DVD collection for 2020 and Horror Part 4. So let's get into it. Up first we have A Quiet Place, my favorite horror film from 2018, directed by John Krasinski, who of course stars in the film along with his wife. Fantastic performance by Emily Blunt. Really a great concept and really well executed, really well made film. Up next we have Wreck from 2007. Yeah, Quarantine is a remake of Wreck. Good Spanish horror film from 2007, like I said. I liked it a lot. And I also have the sequel, Wreck 2, from 2009. Okay, up next we have the Resident Evil franchise. The first one from 2002, I really like. This is probably my favorite of the franchise still, with Mila Jovovich, Michelle Rodriguez, Deluxe Edition. Yeah, I like the first one. The first couple of sequels I don't like that much. Resident Evil Apocalypse from 2004. You've got people like Ali Larder in this. Resident Evil Extinction from 2007. Widescreen Special Edition. Again, I don't like the first couple sequels, but I do like this sequel, Resident Evil Afterlife, from 2010 on Blu-ray 3D. And I also do like Resident Evil Retribution from 2012, also on Blu-ray 3D. But the last sequel, Resident Evil The Final Chapter, from 2017, was not a big fan of this. And who knows if this will be the final chapter. I've said before, when it comes to horror franchises, when they say the final chapter, don't take their word for it, as you'll see soon enough. So up next we have The Return of the Living Dead from 1985, Collector's Edition. Fantastic, fun zombie comedy from the 80s. Absolutely love this movie. Up next we have The Ring from 2002. Yeah, I love this film. Naomi Watts, fantastic. Great ending, just great atmosphere throughout. Again, it spawned a lot of similar type films where like different types of media sort of curse and can kill you and shit like that. The Ring 2 from 2005, perfectly fine sequel, not as good as the first one, but I still enjoyed it. I also have this DVD called Rings, The Circle of Fear is Going. It's sort of a fan film / documentary about the rings. Kind of interesting. Came with, I think, my Ring 2, or it came with the Ring. One of those two it came with when I bought it. Up next we have The Ruins from 2008. Yeah, really good film set in the Mexican jungle. I love the setting for this film, and there's lots of really interesting concepts in this movie that I dug. Good young cast. Alright, moving on, we have the Saw franchise. The first one I really do like a lot. Saw from 2004, Cary Elwes, Danny Glover, Monica Potter, Tobin Bell as Jigsaw, of course. Uncut edition. Yeah, it was a great surprise at the time, but it spawned way too many sequels in my opinion. Saw 2 Special Edition from 2005. It's a good sequel. It's perfectly fine. I enjoy Saw 2, but Saw 3 is when I sort of lose interest in the franchise. It's just more of the same. Director's Cut from 2006. Saw 4, unrated director's cuts. These are cool additions with like the see-through cases and the saws and stuff. I think my first Saw, this is the one that has like, it has like a moving saw and like blood and stuff in it or whatever, which is kind of cool looking. Let me just show you that again. But anyway, moving on. Saw 5. Did I skip Saw 4? Who knows? Saw 5 from 2008, unrated director's cut. Did I skip Saw 4? No, I didn't. Alright. Saw 6 from, again, with the see-through case. I like that about these editions. Saw 6, unrated edition from 2009. Like I said, sort of lost interest in the franchise. And then we have Saw 3D, the final chapter from 2010. And when I got this, I said, I doubt this will be the final chapter. And lo and behold, 7 years later, I would be right, because we got Jigsaw. The game continues, of course it does. Yeah, from 2017. But if you love Saw, good on you. I like the first two, especially the first one. But I don't love the Saw franchise, really. Alright guys, moving on. Up next we have my Scream Ultimate Collection. Includes the first three Scream movies, of course. The first Scream from 1996. Fantastic movie. Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, David Arquette, Matthew Lillard, Jamie Kennedy, Drew Barrymore, Skeet Ulrich. There's Ghostface there on the back. Scream 2 from 1997, I like a lot as well. Scream 3 from 2000, not as much. Just take these out, just show you that they're all like, of course made a big mess now on the floor. They're all like these Dimension Collector series. There you see like the main covers. There you go, Scream 2. Show them all to you guys. And Scream 3. So just leave that on the floor there. So yeah, up next, of course, we have Scream 4 from 2011. Yeah, I like this as far as later sequels go. I thought it was better than Scream 3. It has Alison Brie in it, and I love her from Community fame, so she makes any film better. Well, this is going to be a problem, I can tell. So up next we have The Serpent and the Rainbow, another Wes Craven film. He of course brought us the Scream franchise. Yeah, from 1988. I remember seeing this when I was a kid. Totally freaked me out. Should have been watching it when I was like 10 years old, but that's why it's in the collection. Session 9 from 2001. Yeah, really good film with David Caruso, Peter Munn, Josh Lucas. Yeah, good little film, that one. Up next we have Shadow of the Vampire from 2000. Really great film about the making of Nosferatu, the silent vampire classic by F.W. Murnau, who's played by John Malkovich in the film. And of course Willem Dafoe is fantastic as Max Schreck, the vampire incarnate. Love, great companion piece to Nosferatu, Shadow of the Vampire. God, this sucks. Just shit falling all over the place. God damn it. Let's see if this will work. Do it like this. Okay, up next. Nope, it's not gonna work. The Shallows. Yeah, really good film from 2016. Blake Lively. Good shark-infested waters movie, and Blake Lively in a bikini throughout the film. You gotta love that. I'm definitely not gonna turn down that. Alright, up next we have Shaun of the Dead from 2004. Fantastic film, of course. Edgar Wright, Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. Great zombie comedy. Up next we have The Shining, my all-time favorite horror film, of course, directed by Stanley Kubrick, 2-disc special edition. Jack Nicholson, fantastic. Shelley Duvall, Scatman Crothers, from 1980. Come play with us, Danny. Yeah, I love The Shining. Silent Hill, yeah, the first one from 2006 is a really good film, based on the video game. Rodden Mitchell, Sean Bean, there he is. Yeah, I really like the first Silent Hill. Great atmosphere, great setting. Just a really good, creepy movie. I like Silent Hill a lot. The sequel, Silent Hill Revelation, 3D from 2012. The less said about this, the better. Alright, up next we have Silver Bullet. Yeah, great werewolf movie from 1985, starring Sean Astin, Gary Busey. Yeah, I really enjoyed this film. Am I Maybe Sean Astin's not in this. I thought it was. Trying to remember here. Who's the kid? Everett McGill. Corey Haim, yeah, sorry. Corey Haim, not Sean Astin. Mixing up my teen 80s legends there. Yeah, Corey Haim, not Sean Astin. Alright, never mind. Up next we have Sinister from 2012. Really good, actually. One of my favorite horrors of the past decade. I like the first Sinister a lot. Yeah, Ethan Hawke. Just really creepy, great sort of kill setup scenes. I didn't care for Sinister 2 that much. I have seen it, but I don't have it. Obviously, I didn't like it that much, but I like the first one a lot. And up next, we have Sleepy Hollow from 1999. Fantastic film. One of my favorite Tim Burton movies. And, of course, him teaming up with Johnny Depp. I seem to have every Tim Burton Johnny Depp film that there is. Christina Ricci. I love the Legend of Sleepy Hollow as a story. Christopher Walken as the Hessian with the chiseled teeth at the beginning. I love the atmosphere. The Legend of Sleepy Hollow is one of my favorite sort of American folk tales. I remember seeing that on opening night or opening weekend and Fight Club on the same day. That opening Friday, I remember seeing both those films when they came out in 1999. Alright guys, moving on. Up next we have Slither. Really cool film from 2006 with Elizabeth Banks, Michael Rooker. Yeah, really gross and disgusting, but really funny and loads of fun. Slither. Speaking of loads of fun, we have Snakes on a Plane, also from 2006, New Line Platinum series, Samuel L. Jackson, of course. Yeah, loads of great fun. I remember when that came out, people were loving Snakes on a Plane. Up next, we have Splice from 2010. Yeah, trippy, weird film with Adrian Brody, Sarah Polley, of course, having Adrian Brody having sex with this alien is pretty much the standout thing from that film that I remember. Alright, up next we have Stigmata from 1999. Patricia Arquette, Gabriel Byrne, Jonathan Pryce. Yeah, there were a couple sort of satanic movies from 1999. This and End of Days, both with Gabriel Byrne. I like End of Days a lot more than I like Stigmata. Another film that came out '99, which is really good and really underrated, in fact, is Stir of Echoes with Kevin Bacon. Special edition, really good film. Quite surprising in parts. Really dug that movie a lot. Up next, we have The Strangers, unrated from 2008 with Liv Tyler and Scott Speedman. Yeah, it seemed like Hostel and films like that sort of spawned a whole bunch of movies where ordinary folks get terrorized by teenagers, or the other way around, teenagers go on vacation and get terrorized and shit like that. Those type of films all seem to come out in the late 2000s. Up next, we have Suspiria, 2-disc special edition, absolute classic, of course. Dario Argento from 1977, nice Blue Underground release here. Alright, up next, one of my few steelbooks is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original from 1974, Tobe Hooper film, of course, absolute masterpiece, one of my favorites. 2-disc Ultimate Edition. Really nice steelbook. I don't have many Texas Chainsaw Massacre sequels or remakes, but I do have the 2003 or 4 remake. Yeah, New Line Platinum series. I really liked Jessica Biel's performance in this. When I started working at a movie theater in '04, I think it was '04, this was the big movie that was out at the time, so I can always... I basically worked at the movie theater, I think it was '03, because I worked there like 4.5 years. I worked from Texas Chainsaw Massacre to the first Iron Man. That's That's how I like to put it. '03, like September, October '03 to like May '08 when Iron Man came out, the first Iron Man. That was my experience working in a movie theater. Um, Speaking of theaters, up next we have Theater of Blood, another midnight movie classic with Vincent Price, the great Diana Rigg from 1973. Great movie, that one. Up next we have Trick or Treat from 2009. Great Halloween anthology. Really fun film with Anna Paquin, Brian Cox, Leslie Bibb. Certain segments are better than others, but overall, next to the original Halloween, this is one of the best Halloween, one of my favorite Halloween movies altogether. Up next, we have Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Fantastic, hilarious, fun movie from 2011. Absolutely loved it. When I initially saw it, Tyler Labine, Alan Tudyk, and Katrina Bowden, just really funny and great. Just turns the whole sort of redneck killer genre on its head, and I absolutely loved it. Up next we have Turistas. Yeah, like I said, Hostel, Spawn, these type of films. This one from 2006, not too bad. Up next we have Tusk from 2014, I believe. Yeah, Kevin Smith directed this film. Justin Long, Michael Parks, Haley Joel Osment, Genesis Rodriguez. Great appearance by Johnny Depp. Yeah, I'm a huge Kevin Smith fan. I like a lot of parts of Tusk, and you would say it's only really straight horror film. So yeah, I appreciate that as far as Kevin Smith's work goes. Alright, moving on. We have the Underworld franchise in the wrong bloody order, because I'm looking at Rise of Lycans all of a sudden, and that's like the third fucking movie. Let's get this in the right order here. Okay, yeah. Underworld, the first one, really great. Kate Beckinsale, 2-disc unrated extended cuts. Yeah, Scott Speedman from 2003. I mean, I love Kate Beckinsale, and her as the death dealer, kicking ass in skin-tight black leather. You gotta love it. Underworld Evolution from 2006, not too bad. As far as sequels go, didn't love the third sequel, which I'm just about to get to, which we almost started with. Like I said, Rise of the Lycans from 2009. Probably my favorite sequel in the Underworld franchise is Awakening, this one from 2012 on Blu-ray. And the last one, probably my least favorite, in fact, of the sequels, Underworld Blood Wars from 2017, also on Blu-ray. This is how stuff ends up out of order, man. I like put it back in the wrong place and then never fix it. Alright, up next we have Urban Legend. Yeah, following Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer. This was the type of horror movies we got back in the late 90s. This one from 1998 with Jared Leto, Alicia Witt, Rebecca Gayheart. Remember her? Haven't seen her in a while. Yeah, this is a good, fine movie. I like Urban Legend. Alright, up next we have VHS from 2012. Good found footage anthology movie. Yeah, like most of these, some segments are better than others. And up next we have Vacancy from 2007. Again, love Kate Beckinsale, Luke Wilson. Ordinary people getting terrorized for like no particular reason. That whole genre, basically. Alright guys, I do apologize for the light. It's because I'm down here at the bottom and the light from my lamp isn't really reaching here. So I'll try and keep them in the light as much as possible. But anyway, up next we have Vampires from 1998. Yeah, good little vampire film starring James Woods. John Carpenter movie. Up next, we have Van Helsing from 2004, Collector's Edition. Yeah, Hugh Jackman and Kate Beckinsale, of course, looking awesome. The effects are cheesy as hell, but I still enjoy it for obvious reasons. Up next, we have Victor Frankenstein from 2015. Yeah, good little film. I liked it a lot with James McAvoy and Daniel Radcliffe. Yeah, cool, interesting take on the classic Frankenstein story. Up next, we have my final horror double feature, I think, in my collection here, and that is Village of the Damned and Children of the Damned. Yeah, great British horror. George Sanders and Barbara Shelley, Village of the Damned, from 1960 in particular. Next, we have Warm Bodies from, when did this come out? Like 2011. Yeah, really interesting film. Zombie romance, if you like, with Nicholas Hoult and I'm gonna blank on her name. Good little actress. She's been in quite a few things over the past 10 years. Yep, it's escaping me right now. Anyway, up next we have What Lies Beneath from 2000. Robert Zemeckis film with Harrison Ford and Michelle Pfeiffer. More on the thriller side, but it's sort of a ghost story, so that's why it's in my horror collection. Up next, we have White Zombie from 1932. Yeah, Bela Lugosi film. One of the oldest horror films I have, I would say. It's not a silent movie. Up next, we have the original The Wicker Man from 1973. Fantastic film, of course, starring Christopher Lee and Edward Woodward. That's a mouthful, let me tell you. And Britt Eklund. Love her from The Man with the Golden Gun. Of course, I have seen the Nicolas Cage remake, and that will not be appearing in my collection. Up next, we have Winchester from 2018 with Helen Mirren, Jason Clarke, and Sarah Snook. Not a great film, but I love the concept of the Winchester Mystery House. I used to live near it in San Jose, so I'm very familiar with the setting. So that aspect of the film I was interested in, but the film as a whole wasn't that great. Helen Mirren always great, but she can really save this. Up next we have The Witch from 2016, really cool flick. This is the one that I'm pretty sure Anya Taylor-Joy is in. Yeah, there she is. I really dug this movie a lot when I saw it. Up next, we have Wolf Creek from 2005. Yeah, this one's tough to watch in parts. Talk about like young adults getting terrorized out in the Australian outback, of course. Up next, we have The Wolfman. My final legacy collection of all these Universal horror monsters. Lon Chaney Jr. classic. Sequels, of course, Werewolf of London from 1935. Well, I guess that's not a sequel because it came out before it. Frankenstein meets the Wolfman, 1943, and She-Wolf of London, 1946. Speaking of remakes, we have The Wolfman from 2010 with Benicio del Toro, Anthony Hopkins, Emily Blunt, Hugo Weaving, 2-disc unrated cuts. Yeah, it was pretty decent. Up next, we have The Woman in Black from 2012. Yeah, good little gothic horror film. Classic ghost story, Victorian era British ghost story, starring Daniel Radcliffe. I liked it a lot. The second one I have seen, I didn't like as much, but the first one I liked quite a bit. Up next, we have World War Z from 2013. Great zombie action, Brad Pitt trying to save the world. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm actually kind of surprised we don't have a sequel to this, or maybe just the source material didn't warrant sequels. But that's a film I figured we would get sequels. Up next, we have Wrong Turn from 2003. Yeah, Eliza Dushku, love her. yeah, cool film. I think there's like at least 4 sequels. I think goes up to Wrong Turn 5, and I don't think I've seen any of them. Maybe I've seen parts of 2. I just never really had a desire to check out the sequels. I figured once I saw one Wrong Turn, I've pretty much seen them all. Let me know if they're any good. If you've seen the Wrong Turn sequels, maybe I'll give them a look in the future. Up next, we have Young Frankenstein. Mel Brooks classic, of course, from 1974. Gene Wilder. Just a fantastic film. Peter Boyle, Marty Feldman, Cloris Leachman. Probably my favorite Mel Brooks film. This and Spaceballs pretty close together. And last but not least, we have Zombieland from 2009. Absolutely love this film. Jesse Eisenberg and Woody Harrelson, Emma Stone, and the adorable Abigail Breslin. Not so adorable in the sequel though. She's changed a lot since her like early adorable kid phase in movies like Little Miss Sunshine and this. But I liked the sequel fine, Double Tap, from last year, so I'll be getting that on Blu-ray. Yeah, I love Emma Stone, and Eisenberg and Woody are great together in these 2 movies. I like Zombieland a lot, and the sequel, like I said. Great cameo by Bill Murray, of course, in the first one. Anyway, so that is horror part 4. We finally got through horror. Up next will be James Bond. One of my favorite sections for obvious reasons, and I'm going to split it into 2 videos because I'm going to show you all the movies individually like I have down here, and then I'll show you my James Bond display that I have above on top of the shelves. So until then, thank you for watching as always, and until next time, I'll see ya.
Bond. James Bond.